Cough drops, my antibiotics. I'm loaded up. I'm good to go.
Yeah, well, you made it in, and even though you were under the weather, so that's great.
I made it in, dude. Nothing was going to stop me from this week, man. Absolutely nothing as we get all green check marks across the board. Wherever you get this podcast, whether that be on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, X, we're all over the board. So away we go. Who are we? We are MHI. I am Luke Patterson, one half of MHI. Join with me as always, Thomas Hall. Tom, it feels great to be back in the saddle with you and Scott Kennedy. Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Mountain. It's time to talk some Broncos football, where your Denver Broncos are in an AFC divisional playoff game at home, Denver, Colorado. Tom, take me back to training camp. If I were to tell you, here we would be sitting January 14th, 2026. The Broncos have the number one AFC slot, and Josh Allen and the Bills are coming to town. Would you call me crazy? Would you believe it? How we feel?
No, I don't think I would have believed it because I didn't know they were going to win as many games as they did. I thought 12 was their top, but they shocked me. They shocked a lot of people. Obviously, some people still think they're frauds, but I mean, you win 14 games, you tie the franchise record for the most games, and people are still doubting them. It really bothers me. But no, I wouldn't have thought. I thought they would be going to Buffalo most likely, not having Buffalo come to the Mile High City.
No, it's time for some get back, man. We all remember what that 31-7 beatdown that happened in Buffalo last year. Obviously, Bo Nix's rookie season, Sean Payton and Bo finally get the Broncos back into the playoffs. But things are different this year, and how much and how quickly things can change in just 12 months. Here we sit, and it is a new season. We have a lot to get to in this show. Let's start off. I know it's been a minute, hot minute. Let's say hello to some of the MHH Super Chat superstars who have been waiting to talk Broncos-Bills all day on Wednesday. I've been talking with the good folks over on X, over on Facebook, Broncos Country, Bills Mafia. Folks are geeked up for this football game, including our dear, beloved friend, Deanna Hendry. Thank you so much, Deanna, always showing up every week. Many blessings to you and your family. And speaking of blessings, we are blessed with a very generous $50 super chat to start the show. 2 minutes in, away we go. Deanna firing hot, saying, "Good evening, Luke and Thomas. I believe in our Broncos team beating the Bills. Hit the like button to subscribe and share. The media, they keep saying that Josh Allen's hurt. I think it's to downplay him to fool the Broncos. Or if the Broncos win, the Bills can always say, well, Josh Allen wasn't at his best." Wow, a lot to unpack there from Deanna. Tom, what do you think?
Well, I don't think it would just be the Bills saying it. I think the media would be saying it if the Broncos beat him. Well, Josh Allen was hurt because he's the golden child right now. He's the star quarterback of the league with Mahomes, sitting at home, nursing his knees. So I think it's not just the Bills. I think it's the media members and everybody else because they still don't believe in this Broncos team. The Broncos are going to have to win it all for them to get. And who knows? Some people probably will still say they don't deserve it for some reason, but I'm with you, Deanna. I think they make excuses ahead of time. So just in case something happens where they lose, they can say, well, we weren't at full strength. And hey, you've got to play the game. That's what happens if you don't win enough games. You don't get that bye week to rest up your players and get healthy. Win more games during the season, and then you're going to be in that spot where Denver is.
I think Deanna's onto something. I think a lot of folks, whether it be in sports, on social media, or in life, like to make excuses. And we don't make excuses on this show. We call our shot. Sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong, but we own it. We poke fun of each other, and we have a lot of fun. Case in point, I thought Caleb Williams and the Bears were shot last weekend, Deanna. I really did. I'm taking laps, talking Caleb Williams. I can't stand the guy. And the Green Bay Packers let him right back into the game. Here we go. The Chicago Bears are in the divisional round. Where I would push back just a smidgen, if I may, Deanna, I think Josh Allen's banged up. I think he's bruised up. I write about it in my Keys to Victory. I'll take you through it tomorrow morning at milehighhuddle.com. But does it matter if Josh Allen's hurt? Does it matter if he's banged up? Absolutely not. The guy's a warrior. He's a beast. He's going to be out there. We watched every minute of what he did to the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I think so many times people want to try to fan bases. Well, Josh wasn't at his best. Well, Josh didn't have healthy wide receivers. And conversely, I don't hear a lot of that coming out of the Broncos country, which makes me feel really, really good about things. I see some attitude over there at Broncos HQ, specifically from Sean Payton making fun of reporters, talking about Dre Greenlaw coming downhill, Bo Nix looking unenthused at the podium, if you will. And I like it. I don't know about you, Tom. I don't know about you, Deanna, but I think this Broncos team is locked in. They're ready to go, and they're loaded for bear. We'll get into the injury report. We'll talk about where Josh Allen is at, what he needs to do, how the Broncos can stifle what Josh Allen brings to the party. But Josh Allen has been a name that has haunted Broncos country for 7 years now. I mean, we were talking about John Elway, right? Elway, the great, the GOAT, Wood. There's only one of them. And Netflix, before the show starts, have you seen the documentary? Haven't you? Where are we at with things? Well, I see John Elway on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp the other day, Tom, saying, man, if I had one professional regret, it was letting that Josh Allen guy go from Wyoming. And I got to tell you, Tom, Scott, Deanna, Broncos country, we thought that Josh Allen was the one that got away 7 years ago. It turns out he just made room for New Bay, and New Bay is Bo Chapman Nix. Tom, how are we feeling about Bo Nix, Josh Allen, Broncos country? Can we finally get that Josh Allen monkey off of our backs this Saturday night?
Well, let's hope so. And the one thing that I do like about Bo Nix when it comes to these longer a bye week, longer time to prepare, is he is a quarterback who thrives on being able to prepare for their opponent. I don't think he's as good when it's, 3 or 4 days, before the next game, the Thursday nights, things like that. He's just not as good. But when he has the time to prepare, he's a much better quarterback in my mind. And I think you're going to be able to see that coming out of the gate on Saturday, because he's had 2 weeks to get ready, get prepared. He's been, fully locked in for that time, resting up. And I think you're going to see probably the best playoff Bo Nix that we've seen so far will be this weekend.
Boom, goosebumps. I know David's all about it. David's been on the Bo leave bandwagon along with Deanna and the rest of Broncos country since the season started. And Tom, you were very optimistic. You thought, 12 wins? I thought 11. I think Scott was right there at 11 or 12 too. We had a lot of high expectations coming into this. And sometimes it's a pinch yourself moment. David saying, good evening, Broncos country. Remember, you got to win 3. And I see the social media posts going around. People love to take shots at Sean. I think Sean feeds off of it a little bit at times, likes to troll people, likes to troll opponents and other teams. And we have to remember, right, when he brought the Lombardi into the Saints locker room 6 years ago, saying, win 3 effing games and this is what you get. And it's stacks full of cash in the Lombardi trophy. I don't think he needs to do that with this 2025 Broncos squad. I think they're focused. I think they're ready. I can't tell you how much I think having a week off does for this football team. 13 days, Tom. 13 days will have passed since the Denver Broncos played a professional football game. Meanwhile, the Buffalo Bills are on a short 6-day work week. Their whole team is banged up. We're going to get into the injury report. We could keep talking about Josh Allen some more, obviously. But watching that Bills-Jags game, man, I got to tell you, I was kind of rooting for Buffalo. I wanted Buffalo to come to the Mile High City. It's not about getting revenge for last year. It's about righting some wrongs. And it's about finally getting the Josh Allen nightmare out of our mouths. How do they do that? That's up to them, and we'll take you through it and how we think the Broncos can get 3 keys to victory here in just a little bit. But before we do, let's open it up to the chat. David Yonkin, Tom, a very generous $4.99 super chat, one of our exclusive members in the MHH community. Really appreciate you, Big Dave. I'm looking forward to the win, 17-3. Our offense, they've got to be lights out.
Yeah, for sure. They've got to be able to keep pace. The defense, it seems like the defense is kind of peaked early and then it's kind of slid down, but I think they're going to be ready to go. I think, what they've put out on the field hasn't been what they're used to being what fans are used to, but I think they're going to be dialed back in. They're going to be playing their brand of Denver defense. Like I said, the offense is going to have that extra time to prepare, but they're going to have to put up some points. I don't think it's going to be a defensive struggle. Although back in the day, the right I want to see wrong in the playoffs is back in 1991 when the Bills beat the Broncos 10-7. Defensive struggle. The only touchdown was late in the game that was for the offense on the Broncos late in the game, but it was three dead David Treadwell missed field goals, and they would have went to the Super Bowl again. That was it. So that's the wrong I want to see right, because they haven't beat the Bills in the playoffs yet. So that's mine.
No, 1991, a bad year for the Broncos, a good year for yours truly. That was my birth year, Tom. I know everybody was wondering, so we got to get that out there. And look, guys, I got to ask Tom about this. It's driving me crazy. The Las Vegas wise guys, right? The sports books, the guys that know how the money and the game is going to go. Well, one day they say the Bills are favored. The other day, actually today, the Broncos are favored. What do we make of it? Underdogs, overdogs? We got to get to it. But speaking of the playoffs, guys, Underdog is the best place to get in on all of the action. It's time to get off the bench and into the game. Head on over to Underdog. By the way, it's not just football. Whether you're into basketball, hockey, or any sport in between, Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action all season long.
Exactly. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, anything you want. Get your picks right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash.
Boom. Listen, guys, I have a ton of fun playing on Underdog every weekend and winning money while watching football. That's a touchdown, fellas. Download the Underdog app today. Sign up with promo code MHuddle to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your very first $5. Remember, that's promo code MHuddle. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. Will you be next?
Be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Boom, Broncos country. We are talking the divisional round as the Buffalo Bills are welcome to the Mile High City. It's going to be nasty. Mile High Magic. It's going to be nasty out there for Josh Allen. You're not going to see so many Wyoming Cowboys making the trip wearing Bills uniforms or Bills jerseys, rather. I think you're going to see an overwhelming force of orange. Remember the United and Orange? We can get something like that going here for this playoff season. I can't wait. And speaking of it, Shannon Mills with a very generous $19.99. Thank you, Shannon, an exclusive member of the MHH community, coming in and sounding off saying, listen, fellas, I would love to see real deal Jaleel McLaughlin run all over the Bills defense. Go Broncos. It's going to take more than just RJ Harvey. Shannon's onto something here. The Broncos have to utilize what they've got. Yeah, Quadzilla, real deal Jaleel.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they need a different 1-2 punch. They haven't been getting a huge amount of, I would say, production out of their running backs since J.K. Dobbins went down. It hasn't been terrible. It hasn't been terrible at all. But, in the playoffs, you've got to have that running game going. And, you got to play good defense, and you got to be careful with the ball. Those are the things that the Broncos need to do. And if they can do that, I think they can come away with a win, because the Bills are banged up. There's no doubt about it. I mean, they've got a few starters on injury reserve. They got a lot of people on the injury report. Broncos are relatively healthy, other than the 3 starters that are sitting on injured reserve. The rest of the team is ready to go. So I think there's a huge advantage. And I still understand why the Broncos are not the overwhelming favorites. And I get, it's a popularity contest. It's how the betting goes. It swings with one way. Vegas doesn't want to lose money. So they've got to make sure that the people are betting the right, the way they want them to bet. So it's all about the betting. But I'll tell you in a bit why I am glad they're not huge favorites.
No, it's interesting, and I think you're onto something there, Tom. And Shannon, I like that. I like the Jaleel McLaughlin take. I think some folks may scoff at that, but listen, unsuspecting targets and unsuspecting offensive playmakers I'll take it for the Denver Broncos, whether that's on Saturday, Sundays, Thursday, Monday, any day of the week. Let's just get into the end zone. I mean, I don't remember anybody being upset at Nate Atkins scoring touchdowns, Adam Troutman getting into the end zone. This team, this Denver Broncos team on Saturday, they have to give their very best John Rambo impersonation. What do I mean by that? They need to draw first blood, Tom. This offense has to come out and they have to start hot. Now, you said something about the Broncos getting a little bit of hate, not being respected. And I would rather them be that way. I don't want this team content. I don't want them feeling themselves. Can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm grateful that the Jacksonville Jaguars kicked our ass a few weeks ago. I really am. They got kicked in the teeth. They needed a wake-up call. I think they're ready to answer the call of duty this Saturday night against the Bills. But when you look at things, we have to remember Josh Allen versus Bo Nix. It's not exactly going to work out that way, right? It's Josh Allen against the Broncos defense. It's Bo Nix against the Bills defense. Which quarterback is better? No problem, secede. Josh Allen. I would rather have Josh Allen on my team. Remember, this is a team sport, and I feel undoubtedly that this Broncos team is so much better than this Buffalo Bills team. We also have to remember Josh Allen has been playing in this league for 7 seasons? Bo's in year 2. They're very similar. They're very different. I am grateful to have Bo Chapman Nix strapping up for the Broncos.
Yeah, talent-wise, it's hard to argue that the Broncos are less talented than the Buffalo Bills are. Other than the quarterback, you can't really make that argument, especially banged up as they are. The issues that I find with the Broncos, which has happened all year, is the mental mistakes and the lack of takeaways by the defense. If those are fixed in the playoffs, the talent will carry them through, but they've got to make sure that those don't come back to haunt them.
Well, and listen, this is a different Josh Allen that we're seeing this year. This is a different Buffalo Bills team that we're seeing this year. And I think it's easy to get caught up in the fandom of, we got to get revenge for last year. Damn revenge. We got bigger fish to fry. It starts with the Bills on Saturday, but you just look at the Bills coming off of a short 6-day work week. The Broncos got to kick back and put their feet up. They got to get healthy. They got to tweak some things on the offense, tweak some things on the defense. But I'm going to take you through it. Bills, Jags, what happened last week? We're going to get into it into this show. I saw a lot of good things from the Jaguars that make me feel very optimistic for this Broncos team. And we'll get to the injury report here in a little bit. But before we do, let's continue saying hello to all the men and the women in the chat. Lots of eyes on us here tonight as Broncos country is ready. It's been 10 years, Tom. 10 years. Call it a coincidence. I'm not superstitious. I'm kind of stitious. The 10-year anniversary of Super Bowl 50, Super Bowl at Santa Clara. Talk to me about the importance of the playoffs in Denver, Colorado.
Well, I'll just give you a little bit of history. So the Broncos have been
to school, Tom.
the Broncos have been the number 1 seed now 9 times, 8 times before. In 6 of those matchups, or 6 of those times they were number 1 seed, they went to the Super Bowl. It's very important to be at home. 6 out of 8 they went to the Super Bowl. The only 2 times that they didn't go is they lost in the divisional round. They were huge favorites, which is why I'm glad they're not huge favorites right now. In 1996 and in 2012, they got bumped in the divisional round when everybody thought they were going to roll right in. So those are good odds for me. Like, you're the number 1 seed. You're in Denver. The path to the Super Bowl goes through your home stadium. It's a huge advantage on top of the fact that they got to rest. So that's why getting the number 1 seed, especially in this new format, is so important. You're the only one that gets the rest. You're at home, 2 games. You win 2 games, you're in the Super Bowl.
Well, and listen, I can't believe I'm going to say this. At the risk of the Broncos being jinxed, cursed, whatever I got to say, what if Josh Allen's a little envious of the Denver Broncos right now? After all, they've got an offensive, I'm not going to call him a whiz, but they've got him an offensive head coach in Sean Payton who believes in his quarterback. He's the play caller. He's not giving up play duties. You don't have to worry about your head coach making defensive knucklehead calls. You don't have to worry about the same old thing year in, year out. I'm so tired of hearing about this is Josh Allen's year because Pat Mahomes isn't in it. Lamar Jackson isn't in it. Perhaps, but I watched the same wild card weekend that everybody else did, and Pick'em went pretty rough for yours truly. I lost a lot of games last weekend, Tom, because it's so damn hard to win football games. And then the playoffs, they're a whole nother animal. You look at how closely the Jaguars played the Bills. And I mean, no disrespect to Josh Allen when I poke fun at him. I call him bruised and battered. He is. Take a look at the guy on the injury report. Foot, knee, right finger. I mean, dare I say neck? He had a concussion protocol that he had to go through a little bit during the game, or an evaluation, I should say. Josh Allen got his ass whipped, and he kept coming at him. He is I will say this, he is the toughest quarterback right now in the NFL. He's an Iron Man. He's going to strap it up. He's not going to make excuses. But again, Tom, this is a team sport. Last time I checked, Bo Nix doesn't have to go out there and do everything. Josh Allen, he sure as hell does.
Yeah, absolutely, because their team is banged up and they don't have that much talent. I mean, they have been living on Josh Allen saving them for too long. They haven't built around him the way they should. That's why he hasn't made it to the Super Bowl, and it's only gotten worse, in my opinion. Worse offensive line. They had a good offensive line back in, a few years ago. It's gotten worse. Their defense has gotten worse with the injuries and the players leaving. Wide receiver core. I mean, I'm not trying to say that they're a pushover and that they're just going to walk right over the Bills. They're a good team. They are in the playoffs. They got there because they won enough games. They're a solid team. I just don't think they're this juggernaut that people are thinking they are, because they're looking back at a couple years ago when they were going toe to toe with the Chiefs, when the Chiefs were a juggernaut, and now they're thinking, oh, well, the Bills are just going to walk into Mile High and come out victorious. And that's just not going to be the case.
Shannon weighing back in, very generous, $9.99. Thanks a lot, Shannon. Very active in the chat tonight, an exclusive member of the community. Josh Allen was more of a, quote, game manager in that Jacksonville game due to all of the injuries. Yeah, Josh Allen looked dog tired. Josh Allen looked just like he was going to will that team to victory. And I respect him. I salute him. I'm not wearing my Wyoming Cowboy hoodie anymore this week, Tom. I'm not doing it. I told my wife today I've got to stop. If I do, it's for Frank Crum, right? In the Denver Broncos. That's where we're at in the Patterson household. Here's a guy, good friend of the show. Haven't seen him in a minute. Tea Time with Larry. What is up? Lawrence Rivera. Massive support over on Facebook. Bless you, my friend. I hope things are well. What's up, everybody? My son is going to be so happy when we get back at Josh Allen for talking about CSU this year when Wyoming retired his jersey. We got some love for the Rams in the house tonight with Lawrence Rivera. I hear you, man. And that's the thing. I'm not conflicted. I'm not upset about it. I want to see Josh Allen get his ass whipped on Saturday, all right? And I'm not going to feel bad about it. I think finally we're at the point now where it just feels like, doesn't it feel like Josh Allen was the one that got away, right? He was, oh man, if only. And it turns out he made room for Bo Nix. It turns out there is another, right? To channel my Yoda on MHI here on Wednesday night. And Larry coming right back again. It's still better to be a Broncos fan than Bills Mafia. Absolutely love it.
And you know what else is good too about getting Bo Nix now is the front office built a really good team around him as they were looking for that quarterback. So they've went out and got some really good draft picks. They've made some really good free agency moves. And now they have a very talented team around a quarterback who is only in his second year and really starting to get better. In my opinion, he's starting to get better. It's going to take time. It's like I said, second year, but he's starting to get better. He's winning more games, and he's playing really well in the fourth quarter when they need him the most. So that's, to me, is the difference between getting Josh Allen a long time ago. Is they built that team and now they slotted that quarterback in, who I really like. I mean, he's not the superstar yet. I think he can grow a little bit more, but he's a darn good quarterback, and it's what the Broncos need at the moment.
No, Bo Nix doesn't get any love. We know that. The Denver Broncos don't get any love. And yeah, it irks me. It bothers me a little bit. But I would much rather it be the case. We in Broncos country, right? We've been in the fortunate scenario of Damn, record-breaking offense, Tom. And I hate to bring up bad memories for you because I know you were there at Super Bowl 48, right? But man, Peyton Manning and the record-breaking offense, the Legion of Boom, and things just fell flat. I think the Broncos were feeling themselves a little bit in Super Bowl 48. I think they ultimately had to change their identity. They went defense. I still believe defense can win championships. We're going to find out. Come on Saturday. Deanna coming back again, Tom. Holy cow. Another very generous $50 super chat. Deanna, thank you. Many blessings. Broncos do need to run the ball, guys. I agree. Jaleel McLaughlin, well, he needs more touches. But we need to sack Josh Allen 6, 7 times. They also need to keep Josh Allen off the field any way they can. The fans, they need to get loud. And our Broncos tight ends need to catch the ball. We need to play strong. We need to win. Man, so much to unpack there from Deanna. Deanna, stay tuned for my keys to victory. I talk about your tight ends and receivers tomorrow, how they get the ball, where they get the ball, when they get the ball, and how the Broncos win. Stay tuned over at milehighhuddle.com. Chad, it was fun. Or Chad. Tom, it's funny. Chad's bothering us, right? He's like, boys, it's a short week. I need predictions in. I've got my prediction all typed up. The only thing is the score. I'm not sure how this one's going to go. I think it's going to be close. It's not because I'm listening to the wise guys in Vegas or anything like that. But, man, I can't wait to send my prediction in. I'm curious what yours will be. You can read about them at milehighhuddle.com tomorrow. I'm also curious to see where the staff stands in the pick'em. No, you were really, really good last year. We're all kind of up there with the Broncos right now. I think it's going to be tough to declare a winner, if any. But I digress. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't want to give my prediction yet. I guess I'll just say this. I feel like the Broncos are going to be able to win this game. I think everybody's doubting them. I think they're going to come out sharp. And like Deanna said, they're going to catch the ball. They're not, I mean, you watched that Philadelphia, you watched AJ Brown, like he was talking all year about how he's not getting, and then he goes and blows it. That stuff's not going to happen for the Broncos. The Broncos are going to be dialed in. They're going to catch the ball. I think they're going to limit their mistakes, and I think the defense is going to play like they did earlier in the season because this is a whole new season now. I mean, they're hyped, they're ready to go. So I think the Broncos at home can get it done, but again, the mental mistakes they can't be there.
No, the mental mistakes, they've got to be limited. But if I'm being honest, I'm good with it, and I'm coming into this game and I'm expecting mistakes. Why? Because they happen in every game. I'm also expecting a turnover. I'm saying at least one. I hope one for the Broncos defense. But if Bo and the Broncos offense somehow finds a way to cough it up, they've figured out how to overcome that. They have fourth quarter. They're the comeback kids. I'm sick and tired of the Chicago Bears. Cardiac kids, Caleb Williams, let's paint my nails. No, none of that. Bo Nix and the Broncos have been doing that for longer. They do it better. And there is just a huge difference when you look at the identity of Sean Payton, Bo Nix, and this Denver Broncos squad versus the Chicago Bears, and even our opponent this week in Josh Allen and the Bills. Phil McLaughlin, what's up, Phil? Filthy Phil coming in over on Facebook, a huge supporter of the show. Many blessings to you and yours, man. We appreciate your generosity. Good evening, Thomas, Luke, and Deacon Scott. Tom, give Phil an X Factor player on each side of the ball. He's going with Marvin Mims and Will Lutz. Buck 'em. MHH for life.
Well, I'm going to go on the defensive side. I think Dre Greenlaw, who has been okay, hasn't been great. He was expecting a lot more. Is going to come up big on the defense. He's going to come up big this game. He's pumped and ready to roll. I think he knows that he hasn't played well or up to his standards this season. But like I said, it's a new season. He's healthy. He's ready to go. Offensive side of the ball, I'm going to go dig deep, and I'm going to go with the rookie, Bryant, to come up big in some clutch situations to move the chains and maybe even score a touchdown.
Pat Bryant. Wow, that was a deep pull as well. Shannon with Jaleel, Tom with Pat Bryant. I absolutely love it. For my X Factors, I'm going to go with some Allen on Allen crime. It happened last week in Jacksonville. It's about to happen again here in Denver. Zach Allen is a one-man wrecking crew on this defensive line. The Buffalo Bills offense, they're going to be on ice skates after this run game is shut down, and I'll take you through it. This James Cook factor, not buying it. One of my keys to victory, I take you and break you down on how the Buffalo Bills have fallen from grace and why it's all on Josh Allen. A lot of it has to do with the O-line and James Cook. So Zach Allen on defense for me. I'm going to go with old reliable Courtland Sutton. It is time for a Demaryius Thomas playoff moment. Just like Tebow to DT against the Steelers, that walk-off win. Courtland Sutton's looking for a walk-off moment, just like his mentor, his friend, the late, the great Demaryius Thomas. So give me Courtland Sutton and Zach Allen for the X factors in this game. A fantastic question from Phil in Broncos country. You are alive tonight in the show. Absolutely love it. People are firing away their predictions. People are giving their opinions. People are talking smack, and I am here for all of it. It's Wednesday, Tom. The game is just a few days away.
Yep.
What do you make of that? Huge advantage, obviously, for the Broncos. 13 days off. The Bills 6. Sometimes teams can come out a little rusty, and we often reference the bye week when I think of these things. Do you think there's any chance in hell that this Broncos squad comes out sluggish?
I mean, there is a chance, but they didn't rest their starters. They didn't rest a bunch of people in the regular season. So it's basically like a bye week, get a little extra time to prepare. It's not like they haven't played in 3-4 weeks, like when people rest their starters at the end of the season. So I don't think that, but it is an advantage because, again, they got healthy and the Bills didn't have time to get fully healthy. They've got a shorter rest period. Now, yes, there is some advantage to being in a rhythm and things like that. But again, it's not like they didn't play at all in week 18 and then they had to bye and now they're finally playing again and they're rusty. I mean, it really is just a little bit extra time to prepare, but they're still in that rhythm that they had during the season. In my mind, I don't think it's a rust thing.
I'm with you, and it doesn't mean that they could start off bumpy, right? A little slow. And what do I mean by bumpy? 3 and out, right? Not getting a field goal on that first drive, I think man, that was a little bit of a letdown. Let's go down there and get 6, at least get 3 kind of a thing. But I just look at this Bills squad, Tom, and James Cook, not to get after the guy, but he was non-existent against the Jacksonville Jaguars, missing in action, whatever you want to call him, 46 rushing yards, a long gain of 11. Give me a break. And then you talk about Gabe Davis, Tyrell Shavers, both tearing their ACL against the Jags. I mean, these are the injuries that we're talking about. And you can pull up the injury report. It's out there on social media. I'll retweet it later if I got to do it. But the Bills this long, the Broncos this long.
Yeah.
And I look at James Cook. He hasn't recorded a 100-yard rushing game since week 16 against the Browns, a game that the Bills only won by a field goal, because I know that means so much to the national media, right? And how the Broncos are pretenders because they win by 1 point, 2 points, or 3. Could give an absolute rip. We also have to remember James Cook, he's got a career high 6 fumbles this season, Tom. I'll take you through it tomorrow at milehighhuddle.com. I venture to say James Cook, he's the reason why Josh Allen is so banged up right now. They get in these goal-to-go scenarios. They're not handing it to James Cook. They're giving it to Josh Allen. And Josh Allen, he has paying the price to get to the end zone. Meanwhile, this Broncos defense, they're foaming at the mouth. They're lying in wait. I think it's quite literally Josh Allen entering the Lions' den.
And they're a better team against the run than they were last year at the same time, too, when they got steamrolled over by the Bills running game. They're a better defense against the run. They're a more solid defense. I mean, they lost Brandon Jones, which hurts, but Hufanga has been a huge pickup, excellent against the run. And like I said, Drake Greenlaw, he needs to step up, and I think he's going to, but it's not going to be the same situation where they're going to rely on their running game and they're just going to keep pounding the rock right down Broncos' throat this year, because they can't. If the Broncos defense plays the way they have all season long, they're going to be able to stop the run. It's going to be up to Josh Allen to save them. I just don't think they got enough weapons left to help him out.
Oh, we got Bills Mafia in the house. Renaissance Man 9486 coming in, and I love it. What's up, man? Love to get opposing opinions, and let's get into it. James Cook over 100 yards on Sunday easily. I hate to do it, Renaissance, but you're going to make me do it. There was only one 100-yard rusher that the Broncos defense allowed this season. It happened way back when, week 2, Jonathan Taylor. It used to be It used to be, Tom, as you know, Vance Joseph, his Achilles heel, stuffing the run. That has been completely washed out of there the last 2 seasons. He doubled down this year, did a very good job last year. But to say that James Cook is going to get 100 yards on Sunday easily against a healthy Broncos defense that's got John Franklin Myers humming, back at practice, full participant, Zach Allen, Nik Bonitto, John Cooper, your guy, Awuzarike, my guy, DJ Jones. I mean, come on, man. Come on, Bills Mafia. You can break all the tables you want. There's going to be more tables broken in the parking lot in Denver, Colorado than James Cook will have rushing yards. I promise you that.
I'll tell you, though, the only way that Cook gets over 100 yards is because the Broncos frigged up earlier in the game and are way behind. And they just are going to keep feeding him the rock. If it's a close game and they need to throw and they can't really rely on that, force feed that running game, he's not going to get over 100 yards. It has to be a situation where the Broncos have coughed the ball up too many times and it's, a 2-score game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that would spell disaster. Sure, it's a possibility, right? Just like I asked you, man, is it a possibility the Broncos start slow? Sure. That's not this team's identity. Dare I say it's their first priority on defense? Stop the run and everything else will follow. I mean, there's a reason this pass rush has hit home. There's a reason this team leads the league in sacks. And I know regular season stats, they don't mean anything anymore. But this relentless attack from this Broncos squad, it comes in so many different waves. And I don't want to get into the all-pro thing, right? I see people out there, Nik Bonitto was snubbed, and he's out there crying on social media. Good. I'm glad he was snubbed. He's shown up a little bit ghostly the last few weeks. It's time to get after Nick. It's time to get going. But it doesn't mean we don't believe in Nik Bonitto on this show. It just means that the Broncos have so many defensive weapons. How do you plan for them all if you're Buffalo? You going to leave Nik Bonitto one-on-one with your offensive tackle? No. Well, what are you going to do with Jonathan Cooper? We can do with Jonah Ellis. There's another name we're not talking about. Jonah Ellis has been playing lights-out football. The Ellis family this last year, Tom. Good Lord. I don't know if you saw his brother in New England the other night. I know there's another one floating around in Atlanta, damn good player. The Ellis brothers, man. I'm glad we've got one on this Broncos D, but I think this team is about the right things. And what do I mean by that? They believe in themselves. Nobody gave this team a shot. Nobody at being in this AFC divisional spot last training camp, last summer. I remember going on ESPN airwaves, right? And people are saying, Sean Payton, he's talking Super Bowl expectations, and he's had 4 teams that look like this. And I had to say, man, that's some lofty goals, a lot of pressure. They're proving their coach right so far. This can be a special unit, but it could all be for naught should they cough it up this Saturday night.
Yeah, they have the talent to do it. I mean, anything happens any given Sunday, but at home, you know, with the Mile High crowd, you've got a really good defense. I mean, it's not the 2015 defense, but it's really dang good, raring to go. You've got an adequate offense with frankly, this team's been battle tested all year. I mean, they believe in themselves. They believe they can win every game because they went out and did it when when they're down 30 points, they still come back and win, so they're battle tested. They're ready to go. I think this is a playoff brand of football team. If they keep down those mental mistakes, that's the only thing that bothers me. But otherwise, this is a playoff like team, and it's going to be a playoff atmosphere. Mile High has been craving for 10 years this opportunity again for the Broncos to be at home in the playoffs. Is going to be electric. And as long as they can come out and put up a good show right away, that crowd is going to be completely bonkers.
Well, and listen, an 8-1 home record is nothing to scoff at. Mile High Magic is back. That's why it was so important to get this AFC number 1 seed, have home games, get that extra rest, and let's get after it. And speaking of getting after it, man, all show long to start the show, and she keeps coming. All her support, all her generous love. I see her out there. She has something to say about James Cook. Let's get into it. Another 50 from Deanna Hendry. Thank you so much. Your support truly is overwhelming. Listen, guys, if we hold Cook and Josh Allen, we definitely win this game. I do not see Cook getting many yards. The Broncos are going to be the Bills' defensive nightmare. They're poised to win and win big this Saturday. I have faith in our team. Go Broncos. Tom, Deanna, Broncos country, how do you think the Bills are feeling about Denver? And I ask that not facetiously, but because I'm genuinely curious. I'm feeling super confident. I'm feeling very excited. I'll be a little nervous come Saturday morning. Do not get me wrong. But I'm ready for this. I'm ready to see what this Broncos squad can do against Josh Allen. What a formidable test, regardless of the injuries, regardless of what we say. Josh Allen and the Bills coming to Denver, Colorado. Do you think Sean McDermott is giving the Broncos the respect that they deserve? We know the national media is not. Do the Bills respect Denver?
Yeah, because they're real football people, right? They're real. They play the games. They see what's happening. They don't buy into the fans saying, "Oh, well, they only won by a field goal." They don't care about that. They know this team's talented. They are if they're buying into the hype, then they're going to get their butts whipped because that means that they don't have a clue what's going on. This is a talented team. I keep saying this Broncos team is talented, and Bo Nix is better than people give him credit for. And other than losing J.K. Dobbins, that's the only significant blow that they've taken. I mean, they're able to fill in Brandon Jones okay with P.J. Locke. I think they can overcome that. But it's just Sean McDermott's not going to overlook the Broncos. They won 14 games for crying out loud. And it doesn't matter how they did it. They did it. And that's what's important. And if they are, like I said, they're going to get their butts whipped.
I just wonder a little bit if maybe Spencer Brown, Ed Oliver, right? Some of the nasty big uglies are overlooking the Broncos a little bit. But like you said it, Tom, they know football, right? They're preparing. They watch. They see this game film week in and week out. It does make me a little curious. Sean McDermott and Sean Payton, they got love for each other. They're friends. They're falling all over each other in their comments to the press this week. It does make me wonder. I saw the comment earlier in the stream here tonight here on MHI. If the Bills lose, I think this could be it for Sean McDermott. I truly do. You saw a ton of head coaching moves within the last 2 weeks. Nobody saw really the Mike Tomlin stepping down thing coming. We thought maybe his time was up, but the way he did it was odd. Yesterday, I should say, you hear Sean Payton say, "Yeah, I love Mike Tomlin. We're buddies too, and I send him all my black and yellow Jordans because I don't wear those colors." Maybe Sean Payton's going to be sending Sean McDermott blue and red Jordans, or hell, any Jordans, so he could sell them and get a job. Because if the Bills lose this game, you got to know that Buffalo is going to be clamoring for an offensive mind. Perhaps Bills Mafia will be a tad jealous of Broncos country, saying they've got their offensive coordinator and play caller figured out in Sean Payton and Bo Nix. Why can't we have that? What a weird twist of fate that would be, Tom.
Yeah, and frankly, I mean, I think McDermott's a good coach. I think he's done a really good job with it. If they can let him go, it won't be a surprise to me, but I think it's a bad move. What they really need to figure out is how they build that team around Josh Allen more than the coaching. I think they've let Josh Allen down more by not getting him the talent that he needs rather than the ability to coach that team. And I mean, I get it. Sean McDermott's going to take the fall for that. He's on the hot seat because he's had this Superman at quarterback and hasn't been able to get over the hump. So for me, it's one of those things man, it would be a heck of a lot different had they built a better team around Josh Allen. I think you'd have a different opinion. I think Bills Mafia would have a different opinion of Sean McDermott if they had done that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Sean McDermott has definitely done a very good job with the Bills franchise in general, but you can't keep wasting years from Josh Allen. I mean, and fans get restless, right? Especially when you've got a superstar quarterback, because that's what he is. All right, I'll poke fun of Josh Allen this week because he's the bad guy. But don't get it twisted, man. I usually root for Josh Allen. I don't root for the Bills. I like to see Josh Allen do well. However, there's a big monkey on his back right now saying, man, we get it. You won your first playoff game as a Buffalo Bills quarterback, road game, in 33 years, Tom? Did I get that right? 33 years to get a road playoff game for Buffalo, man. And it is absolutely crazy. The pressure couldn't get any more intense for the Bills and the Broncos. And circling back around the wagon, man, our good friend Lawrence Rivera. What's up, Larry? Appreciate you so much for coming back in, man. An exclusive member of the MHH community. Larry's on Facebook. He's on YouTube. I wouldn't be surprised if he hits us up here on Twitch in a little bit. Look, it's quiet when the offense and quiet when on offense. That's the key. And rock the stadium when on defense. Please bring back the Manning rule. Please, everyone, don't drown out Bo. Man, Larry, you're onto something there. Sean Payton had some comments of his own regarding the crowd, how important it is, and how important it is to get after Josh Allen before the huddle, not just when he gets to the line of scrimmage. Get loud.
Yeah, I found it interesting to watch the games and hear the crowd noise on offense. I mean, it should be much quieter in Broncos than they are. They need the stadium needs to follow the Manning rule. Super quiet when the Broncos are out there on offense, but they're loud, man. They were loud. They've been loud all year. And when I was at the Giants game, man, even though people left early, which was good for me because I got a better seat, it was still loud. It was still really loud. So I think they're going to show up in force. I think it's going to be a rocking stadium. And like I said, if the Broncos can come out and put some points on the board early, and get that lead and not, come out with some mental mistakes right out of the gate, that crowd is going to be electric.
Man, it's who's going to the game? Let us know. We'll give you a shout out here on MHI, man, because we need everybody in Broncos country to show up. Leave anything that is red and blue, that combination, in the closet, throw it in the back of the laundry hamper. We're not having any of that. It's all orange and blue this Saturday. I can't wait to see Broncos country get after it. Just like Shannon's been getting after it, man. Just like the rest of Broncos country all night with their generous support. Your support is also overwhelming. We very much appreciate you. Thank you. Listen, I don't think either team is underestimating their opponent. This game, it's going to come down to execution.
Absolutely. And that's what I keep saying. Those mental mistakes, no dropped balls. And you see the difference. You see the difference in the games when it's poor execution. The offense it looks terrible. When they execute well on both offense and defense, for that matter, they look like the talent that they have. And so it is going to come down to executing and making sure that you take care of those little things that, like drop balls, no false starts, things like that, that can put you behind. But when they don't do that, you see a really good offense, an efficient offense, and you see a really good defense. I've seen it in games. Every game that they've executed well has been a fairly easy win for Denver.
100%. And listen, the Broncos offense, they need to start fast, Tom. We keep talking about that. And I'm going to say this, in addition to the penalties and limiting that, no more exotic personnel groupings where Bo's yelling at Sean, come on, we got to go, and we're getting delay of games. You can't be doing that kind of crap in the AFC divisional round. Alas, it's time to forego the expected receiver bubble screens. It's time to get rid of the halfback delayed passes that have drawn frustration and negative yards all the regular season. Listen, guys, it is time for Bo to launch the deep ball. I want to see that go to Cortland Sutton. Tom wants to see it go to Pat Bryant. Connect with Marvin Mims. I don't care if they're crossing routes that are dangerous in the middle of the field. Evan Ingram, show up for me in the alley. The seam works. Streak routes, those work. Show me something different. Show me that you've been preparing to score points, regardless of who your opponent was going to be all wild card weekend. And for me, Tom, the Broncos, they can't afford to come out lackadaisical. They have to strike. They have to go for blood. We're going to see if they have the killer instinct that we all hope that they do on offense. We know the defense is full of dogs. Josh Allen has got to know, man, coming into Denver, regardless of the outcome of the game, Josh Allen's going to leave the Mile High City feeling like hell.
Absolutely. I mean, Zach Allen alone, I mean, the amount of times he's hit a quarterback all season's mind-boggling. So, yeah, I mean, Josh Allen's going to have to earn his money, no doubt about it. He's going to get hit, and he's going to – I don't think that offensive line of the Bills is going to be able to keep his jersey clean. Whether he can withstand that and make the plays that he needs to make, that will, we'll see that on Saturday. But, I think the defense is just going to come out fired up, ready to play. And again, it's at home. The Broncos went 7-1 at home. Well, technically more because they won in London, but this is where they like to play, and this is where they have pretty much held sway across the entire season.
Well, and listen, Phil brought something up earlier when he's talking about his X factors, and I kind of scoffed at it initially, Phil. So I owe you an apology, right? I'm thinking Will Lutz. Will Lutz is the X factor. Yeah. Will Lutz is what? Been special teams player of the week 2-3 times this year already for the Denver Broncos. He's kicked clutch field goals. He's been just as part, if not more, of these fourth quarter comebacks as anybody else, as Bo Nix, Sean, the offensive line, or the rest of the guys. I'm also happy to see I don't think the Broncos are satisfied. They don't care about all pros. They don't care about the Pro Bowls coming up. They don't care about the damn AFC West divisional championship shirts that Sean Payton hated. They don't care about any of that stuff. I think that it has truly been a week by week thing for Denver. And how hard can that be for a franchise to truly buy into that? I think that we've got to give credit where credit's due for now to Sean Payton. He's been through it. He's passed the litmus test. It's been a little while. And I know not everybody wanted Sean here. I know not everybody wanted Bo here. I'll raise my hand there. I had him as one of my, fourth best quarterbacks coming in. Opinions are subject to change. But I think Sean, this ownership group, this fan base, they know who they are. They're unapologetic about it. They don't have to fake anything. There's no internal beefs going on over there. Nobody's demanding the ball. You're not going to see Sean and Cortland Sutton screaming at each other like A.J. Brown and Nick Sirianni. You're not going to have any of this off-the-field theatrics. If anything, all the theatrics and all the drama, it comes on the field. And that's what has made this season so damn exciting for all of Broncos country. It's why I can't wait to give our official prediction. Tom's will drop. Mine will drop. Scott's drop. Everybody's drops tomorrow on milehighhuddle.com. I will also take you through 3 keys to a divisional round victory over at milehighhuddle.com. Should be a lot of fun. Broncos country, we're at our 10-minute warning. You guys have been rocking and rolling all night. This is the part of the show we like to open it up to you and yours. Let us know how you're feeling. Give us some predictions. Give us some storylines. I'm looking for those big fairy tale plays, Tom, and I mentioned it earlier. Demaryius Thomas, Tim Tebow, right? It doesn't have to be a walk-off touchdown, but I'm looking for that long ball that we have not seen all season, Tom. We haven't seen it. Wouldn't it be great? Better late than never. I don't care who catches it. Marvin Mims, Pat Bryant, Cortland Sutton. Take a shot on first down and let's see what happens, Sean.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Connection on the deep ball and the defense finally getting those takeaways that have eluded them for some reason. As many times as they have hit the quarterback this year, I am really surprised at the low number of takeaways that they've gotten. As you're hitting the quarterback, that usually leads to interceptions or fumbles. And it really hasn't led to either of those many times this season. No. So that's what I'm hoping for. Like you said, deep ball to Marvin Mims, really open that offense up, and some takeaways from the defense finally when it matters most in the playoffs.
Well, and listen, we're talking a lot about this pass rush for good reason because they're expected to get after Josh Allen. But should Josh Allen decide to throw it, which he will, he's a quarterback, he's got to do it. Good luck out there with Pat Surtain and Talanoa Hufanga, Riley Moss, who's played exceptionally well the second half of the season, Tom. We got to give him his credit, right? I mean, Vance Joseph, probably just as instrumental. Jim Leonard, right, in trying to get Riley. Here's where you need to recover. Here's how you recover. I think the refs have done somewhat of a better job in the postseason of letting these guys play. I hate to see just the ticky-tack flags being thrown, and there will be questionable calls. And I don't know why, Tom, but every once in a while, if I'm having a bad day, I'll think about Sean Payton getting screwed with the Saints, like 4 or 5 years ago, right, by the refs, and Sean being depressed saying, well, I ate ice cream and stayed in bed for a few days. Man, a lot has changed since then. I don't think Sean's going to be sitting in bed eating ice cream on Sunday, licking his wounds. I think he's going to be trying to figure out a way to prepare for their next opponent. And again, I think it's all about attitude, and I think it's about why. And the Broncos know their why. They are who they are. I just hope Dre Greenlaw don't do anything stupid. I hope you're right, Tom, right? Like, I hope Dre Greenlaw is the dog that we know he is. But I don't need Dre Greenlaw and Spencer Brown fist fighting before at the pregame. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need any of these silly things. I don't need threats to referees. I don't need any of that sort of stuff. Sean Payton has to dial his guys in. Yes, there's a lot of youth when it comes to this Broncos offense, but there's so much experience in the locker room across the board, whether you look in the trenches for both the offense and the defense, the secondary, the tight end room. I mean, there's a lot of leadership in this team, even if guys aren't wearing C on their chest.
Yeah, and the other thing too is I just hope it doesn't. Speaking of the refs, I hope it doesn't come down to I hope the refs don't decide the game. Is all I'm saying. Like, let these guys play, call a fair game. Call the egregious penalties, but don't be the reason why a team wins or loses. That's what I want to see in the playoffs. Is don't give me that terrible call that allows a team to kick a cheap field goal when they wouldn't have otherwise. That type of stuff to win the game. So let's have a good game, call the plays, or call the penalties, but don't want to be up on the camera and flex your muscles or anything like that, please.
Well, and we're already going to have a terrible call because Tony Romo's on it. Sorry, I just had to say it. I'm not a Romo guy, dude. I never have.
Never have been.
My guy. Jim Nantz is my guy. Jim Nantz. Hello, friends. Who doesn't love Jim Nantz, right? Tracy Wolfson. Absolutely. I'm down with it. But Tony Romo, man, against the Jags, it was painful. So painful. I mean, for Buffalo fans, for Jags fans. And Tony, this is like his 6th game, I think he's called for the Broncos this year. It'll be crazy, man. All eyes on Denver. It's also cool, too, when you look at it, Tom, as you know, the Broncos are the very first playoff game of the weekend, man. Like, all eyes are on them. And we're regardless of wherever you are in the country, all right? My father-in-law's telling me, man, I got to figure out a bar to drive to watch this Broncos game. I'm like, no, you don't. They're on national TV, big dog. This is good to go. This is Broncos country. It's Broncos time now. So it's exciting because the Broncos have all the pressure on them. They're built for it. They're battle tested. They've passed a lot of regular season tests. How does that compute to the postseason? Because they are two entirely different animals. Just like Shannon's been an absolute animal with the generosity and love tonight here on MHI, as is the rest of Broncos country. Holy cow, you're giving me goosebumps, Shannon. Calling it right now. Marvin Mims runs back a kick for a touchdown. Holy smokes. The lid would come off of that stadium, Tom.
Yeah, it would. If that were to happen, especially early on, my gosh, like I said, the crowd is going to go nuts. And I hope so. Mims has been a great return man. He hasn't found pay dirt enough. So maybe he's saving his best for this time of the season.
Yeah, Gary Lawson. I see Gary up in here too saying, man, what about Troy Franklin? What about our guy, a little duck-on-duck connection here with Bo Nix and Troy Franklin? Yeah, Oregon could use some love right now, Gary. So if Bo can get one in there and Troy can get one in there, because, man, what happened to Oregon a couple weeks ago? Good Lord. Absolutely crazy. Speaking of getting their asses kicked, right? I'm hoping Josh Allen gets beat down. He's the toughest quarterback, in my opinion, in the NFL right now. He's an animal, absolute beast. But I don't need to be jealous, right? I don't need to be envious of Josh Allen anymore. We got Bo Nix, right? And they're two different quarterbacks, but I'm standing by 10 either way. It's just interesting when you look at it, Tom, because there are so many different storylines in this. Matt Prater, welcome back to the Mile High City, baby.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Matt Prater's name coming back up. That's been a long time. He's been in the league for a very, very long time. So hopefully, the time has caught up to him.
Well, and there were for a little while I was confused, right? Because there's a Connor McGovern on the Buffalo Bills time. Like, that's one of the most common names ever. Like, I feel like at one time there were 3 different Connor McGoverns floating around the NFL. So I know the Broncos connection, at least with Matt Prater. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. I can't wait to see everybody out there. Broncos country, take pictures, take videos, send them to us. Let us know how you're feeling. If you can't get to the game, what are your pregame rituals going to be, right? Are you having, I know a lot of friends of mine, right? Friend Megan today at work's like, I'm hosting family and friends, and we're having a Broncos party. I'm getting over the flu, so me and mine are going to be sitting on the couch, coughing and hacking and eating nachos, cheering on our Broncos squad. Tom, how do you and yours get down watching this Broncos win against the Bills on Saturday?
Well, probably pretty quietly, just kind of sitting back and taking it easy. You know, I used to get really, really rambunctious and wild, and as I've aged, I've kind of gotten more calm. So just sit back and watch it unfold. Basically, take it easy.
No, Tom, you're not going to take it easy. You're going to be yelling and screaming and pulling your hair out. You're going to be losing your mind. You and I are going to be texting each other. And we do that, right? Like, Tom, you've sent me some pretty upsetting texts where you're like, man, I'm so pissed off about this game. And I've done it too, right? Or rub it in like, hey, man, are you still out on Sean Payton? These sort of things. It's fun, man. It's football. Take care of yourselves too, guys. It's nasty out there in this crazy world. Be safe if you're going to the game. Be safe if you're having a Broncos party. Take care of each other. Remember, this is something that we love. It's professional sports, but it is also important to always make it home to your family. Guys, we are at the 1 hour mark, so we are up against it. I appreciate everybody's generosity. Thank you for being patient. I know I was out a couple weeks there, Tom. Thank you for holding down the fort. Scott, many thanks to you as well. Broncos country, head on over to milehighhuddle.com. right now, where we have your Broncos latest. You can check out the injury report. You can check out Sean Payton and Bo Nix's comments on being an underdog. Remember, Bo Nix with the famous quote, "We're an overdog," and I can't wait to see it. Hopefully for the Bills, it's over, dog. At least that's what I'm hoping here. It's a fun show. Again, our predictions are going to be out tomorrow as well at milehighhuddle.com. Yours truly, I got 3 keys to victory for you. Sprinkled a few teasers in here tonight, but I encourage everybody to check that out tomorrow at milehighhuddle.com. Tom, a fantastic show. Thank you so much for the opportunity to do this. I can't wait to be talking with you next Wednesday night, where we are going to be talking conference championship. This Broncos squad is destined for something special. I believe they've got a victory coming to them on Saturday night. It's not going to be given. It's going to be earned.
Yeah, and let's just relish this moment for a while. You know, it has been a long time since this team has been set up to actually win a game and get to the AFC Championship game. So relish it, enjoy it. I mean, this means that the Broncos are back. It was a long time coming since 2015. They've earned the spot that they're in, and I think they're going to earn a chance to advance.
It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Thank you so much to our Super Chat superstars, including Deanna Hendry tonight, David Yonkin, Shannon Mills, Lawrence Rivera. You guys have just been absolutely out of this world. Wherever you catch these pods, Facebook, YouTube, X, Twitch, Spotify. If you can't catch us live, remember, get to us at your convenience. And remember, Broncos country, it is time to beat the Bills. This is the way.